Hello everyone. Today we are just going to start doing some puzzles out of this book. So this is the Max Waters Very Easy Sudoku. This is volume 1, and we'll just flip through here real quick. You can see how many puzzles there are. It is large print and does have all of the answers at the back. Alright, so let's get started. Okay, so here we are on page number 1, puzzle number 1. Again, these are very easy puzzles. That's the category they fall into. I'll kind of talk my way through as I'm doing these, but everyone has a different way of approaching Sudoku. So for instance, on this first puzzle here, I prefer to start with the boxes, and then I tend to go up and down and left to right. I've talked to other people, and some people prefer to do the up and down first or the across first, but regardless. So I look for the box with the fewest blanks in it. So for this puzzle, it would be this one. So we are missing number 2, number 4, and number 6. So if we look here, there's a 2, so neither of these can have a 2, and there's a 4 here, which means that this one has to be a 6. And because of the 2 here, again, this one has to be number 4, and this one has to be number 2. Also, I guess I should mention, you'll notice that I switch back and forth when I'm putting possibilities into a cell. I tend to use a colored pencil, and then when I know it's for sure, I go back with the pen. All right, so that's our only box on this puzzle with only 3 empty cells. So next I see this line here has 3 missing, and so we've got 1, 2, 3, we're missing a 4, we're missing a 6, and we're missing a 9. And so if we go up here, this cell, there's not any of those numbers across or in this box, so this could be a 4, a 6, or a 9. And then we move down to this one, same thing, could be any of them. But then we get down to this row, and we've got a 6 and a 9. So this cell must be a 4. Okay, does that make sense? So then next I see this line has only 3 missing, so we've got a 1, we're missing a 2, a 3, and a 9. So again, there's a 3 here and a 2 here, so this cell must be a 9. And because this 3 is in this box, this can't be a 3, so it has to be a 2, which means that this one is a 3. And now I see that this one is only missing 3, so we have 1, 2, 3, we're missing a 4, a 7, and a 9. So this line has a 9 here, so this could not be a 9, so it could only be a 4 or a 7. And then we look here, we've already got a 9, so, and there's not any 4 or 7s interfering with us. So that is that line for now. Let's look what else would be next. So I don't see any more. Oh, this one's only missing 3. So we've got 1, 2, we're missing a 3, a 5, and a 7. Well, again, we go to this box, there's a 3 and a 5 there, so this has to be a 7. And then if we go here, there's a 5 in this row, so this one must be the 3, and this one is the 5. Sorry about that. Of course, my pen decided to die, And so here's the 5, and here is the 3. All right. So now we're going to look again. And this line now has only 3 missing. So we have 1, 2, 3. We're missing a 4, a 6, and an 8. So if we look in this box, there's a 4, so this can't be a 4, so this one could be a 6 or an 8. If we look here, there's an 8, so that one could be a 4 or a 6, and this one again has a 6, or this one has a 6, so now we are down to a 4 or an 8. And then if we look at this square here now, it's missing 3 if we count this one, so we're missing a 1, 6, and an 8. So here there's a 6, and there's another 6 there. So this one could be a 1 or an 8. And this 6 here covers this square as well, so again it could be a 1 or an 8. And because we have this 6 here, that means that the 6 can only be here for this square, right? Which then if we have that 6, that means that this one up here that could have been a 4 or a 6 now has to be a 4. And if that 4 is there, then that means this one has to be an 8. And now we also can cross the 4 out for the square and the square, because this 4 is covering that whole square of 9, right? All right, so which one should we do next? Let's see, so this square here also only has 3 missing, so we're missing a 1, a 4, and a 9 again. So none of those are discounted, so this one could be a 1, a 4, or a 9. However, this row, we've got a 9, right? So that means that this one could be a 1 or a 4. Well, but we've got a 1 here and a 9 here. So that means that this one has to be a 4, which would make this one a 1, and this is the only place our 9 could be, right? And so now we've got the 1 here, which means that this one has to be an 8, and this one has to be a 1. Make sense? All right, so let's go back here and do this row. It's only missing 2, so we've got a 1 and a 2. We're missing a 3 and a 5. And if we look over here, neither of them are in this box, and neither of them are in these rows. So either of these boxes could be a 3 or a 5. This row's only missing 3, so let's go after that one. So we're missing a 2, a 4, and an 8. None of them are in this box, but there is a 2 here, which means that this one can only be a 4 or an 8. But we get here, we've got an 8 and a 4, and so this one has to be a 2. And then here we've got an 8, so this one has to be our 4. And then we can fill that one back in. Okay, and now we can go here. We've only got 3, so we're missing a 1, a 4, and a 6. So none of them are in this square of 9, but we have a 6 here and a 1. So that means that this one can only be our 4. We look here, there's not a 1 or a 6, and here there's not a 1 or a 6, or here a 1 or a 6. And so both of these we can't solve yet, but because we have this 4 here, now we know that this one is 7, which would make this one a 4. And I don't see any other ones that would fix. Okay. All right, so let's do this row here. So we've already got one that could be 3 or 5, and we're missing 3, a 5, and a 6. But if we go here, we've got the 5 in here, so it can't be a 5, and we've got a 6 over here. So this has to be our 3. And then if we look here, we don't have anything. Oh, I messed that one up. Sorry, so we still had a 3, a 5, or a 6 here, and we do have the 6, but that means that this one could be, oh, but we have the 5 there, so I was right. So yes, that can only be our 3, so we're still looking for our 5 and our 6. But if that is 3, then that means this one has to be a 5, which means that we're 6, and then this would be a 3. So let's move on to this square here. We're missing a 1. Oh, wait, we need to fix this because we've got a 6 in this square now. So we know that one. All right, so we are missing a 5 and a 7. And if we look, there's nothing that's gonna help us so far. So we'll just put in our placeholders. And then let's go up to this square. We're missing a 1 and a 2, but there's a 1 over here, which means that this one has to be a 2, and there's our 1. And then we can do this row here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We're missing a 5. Let's look at this row here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We're missing a 5, a 7, and an 8. But if we look at this column here, we've got a 5 and an 8, so this must be the 7, which makes this our 5, this our 7, and then this is our 8. So if we finish this box, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're missing a 5 and a 6. We've got a 5 here, so this one has to be 6, and this one has to be 5. All right, let's finish up this column. So we've got 1, 2, we're missing a 3 and a 4, but we have a 4 here, so this one has to be a 3, and this one has to be our 4. And then we can just finish up this box. So we're missing a 2 and a 9. And we do not, oh, we have a 2 there, which means this one has to be our 9, this is our 2, which means this one has to be a 6, this one has to be a 9, and then we can just count these off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we're missing a 7, and 1, 2, we're missing a 3. So that's it. There is our first puzzle. Please do not forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time when we will do another walkthrough of another very easy puzzle. There is a link in the description to purchase this book if you would like to work along with me. I do get a small commission off of any sales from that link, just so that you know. But anyway, thank you all for joining me, and I will see you next time.